The Detroit Lions put all their eggs in the Davenport basket, and we are waiting to see what the second opinion, what the outcome of that second opinion is when it comes to him getting assessed for his injuries. He left the game, was on the injury report with a ankle/shoulder injury. Then yesterday, he popped up on the report with a chest injury. I don't know if the two go together, if they're all one. I mean, that whole unit is connected in some form or fashion. But Marcus Davenport, we don't know what's going to happen yet. And although he is questionable as of right now on the injury report, he is most likely going to be out for Monday's game against the Baltimore Ravens. No surprise there. He gave us 1.5 games, which is a little bit better than he gave us 2.5 in 2024. And I know it might seem harsh, but it's not. It's not. I mean, this is the world that they chose. This is the world that they're in. If you can't perform, you are as good as what you can do for the team. And in a way, I feel sorry for the guy. I do, because I can't imagine having all the eyes on me, having everybody, people like myself, talk about you on a regular basis. But then I have to realize, you know what, Derek? It's not personal. And it's not personal with Marcus Davenport either. This is from a business standpoint. And from a business standpoint, Melvin Bradley, Matthias Jerome, Cornelius Holmes, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball again on an edge rusher. Not only an edge rusher, but if you go back in history, Brad Holmes has a knack for signing injured players. Emmanuel Mosley. Look at DJ Chark. If you go down a list, sometimes it works out. It works out with he also has a problem drafting them as well. But it works out in the case of a person like Tim Patrick. It works out in the case of a DJ Reader. It does not work out in a case like Emmanuel Mosley. And even Ife Melifonwu, I don't think played in yesterday's game. I saw a report, and I think he was out already. He was out. Iffy had a lot of star qualities, man, but he couldn't stay healthy. He did more than Marcus Davenport did. And again, this has nothing to do with a human level. And from a human standpoint, I do feel sorry for the guy. I mean, I am human after all. I'm not a machine. I'm a man. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son. It sucks. It does. But at the same time, you got to be able to stay healthy in a sport where it's 100% injury rate. But if you can't even stay healthy for any amount of time, that's going to be a problem. You're going to get criticized. Marcus Davenport, this is coming from Dave Burkett, as to whether or not he's going to be playing on Sunday. Check this out. Lions defensive end Marcus Davenport had his right arm in a sling in the locker room after practice today. He declined to say anything of note about his injury, but he couldn't use his right arm to get up from the recliner he was in. Clearly not on track to play Monday. Now, if you look at Dave Burkett's tweet, now I tried to process things. I said, well, maybe it's a safety precaution. Maybe he's in there, and if your arm is in a sling, why would you use it to get up, right? But at the same time, you can maybe put a little bit of pressure on it. Maybe it needs to stay in that kind of 90-degree position where the elbow is bent or whatever the situation is. Maybe you can put a little bit of pressure on it. Maybe you can't. But the fact that Marcus Davenport didn't want to talk about it, and like I said, I feel sorry for the kid. The young man. I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, this is the life he chose, right? So if Marcus Davenport is unable to go on Monday, what does that mean for the future? If he couldn't put any pressure, he couldn't use. So I'm imagining him getting up from the recliner. I did get to visit the locker room for the Detroit Lions, and in the middle so each locker has a seat, but in the middle of the locker room, I think I showed you on a tweet on the short, there are these recliners that they have. They would be so cool to buy one for your house, but these recliners that you have to get up from, that they recline, and they're in the middle of the locker room, and he couldn't use his right arm at all. I'm thinking maybe the whole right side of his upper body, he couldn't get out. And I told you guys before, and most of the internet is in agreement with me, that if you need a second opinion, that's probably bad news. Nothing really good comes out of a second opinion. So we are awaiting word on not only if he can play, which he probably, I'm 95% sure that he won't play on Monday, but could Marcus Davenport hit IR? Now, remember, we saw Emmanuel Mosley hit IR a few years ago, and for the second time, season-ending injury with the Detroit Lions. after being signed after the first year with the Detroit Lions. And as far as I know, Emmanuel Moseley is currently not in the NFL. Let me know down below if I'm right with that. So what does this mean for Marcus Davenport? If he goes to IR, could his time with the Detroit Lions, if he needs surgery in any way, he could be shelved for the majority of the season. It could be an injury that he cannot come back this season. Joe Burrow has turf toe. He had surgery either today or yesterday, and he could come back in the middle of December. Marcus Davenport could wind up missing the entire season. He could just need some rest. Maybe he lets it heal. But if he needs surgery, he might be out the year. He might be out the year. And this will be the second consecutive year that a player that Marcus Davenport was out, coming off the heels of Emmanuel Moseley. 2 consecutive years. So Brad has a problem. Melvin has a problem. It's okay to say that he has a problem. His problem is drafting players who are either injured already or have a injury history, and their availability is severely limited. So again, I don't know what's going to happen with Davenport. We still don't know his status for Monday, but he's probably going to be out. We'll either learn that tomorrow or Monday. I think we learn it. I'm sorry. We learn that tomorrow. On Sunday should be the roster elevations. It should be. I think everything is pushed back one day when it comes to the information that comes out. Albert Einstein said the definition of insanity is doing what? Doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. That is what Brad Holmes does. And occasionally he gets a different result. Tim Patrick had 2 season-ending injuries, and he wind up being a valuable asset to us, got signed to another year, and now his talents are in Jacksonville. So Brad has a problem. His problem is the defensive end position, addressing it properly. I think it's on display for the entire world to see. There's only so many times that you can ignore it before it comes back and bite you in the rear. And that might be this season. If Marcus Davenport is unable to go, I don't know what to expect. If he's done for the season, I don't know what to expect. But we're going to talk a little bit later about a move the Detroit Lions could potentially make as far as a trade deadline move. Somebody that's going under the radar but popped up on the trade kind of radar after a particular team lost on Thursday Night Football. So anticipate that video later today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think it's time for Brad? Well, I know most of you do. How do you feel that Brad has done when it comes to the pass rush? I'm talking about specifically the edge positions. You guys know how I feel, or you should know how I feel. I think if Aiden Hutchinson, think about an alternate timeline. Let's take an alternate timeline that Jacksonville actually was not an idiot organization, and they took Aiden Hutchinson. The word on the street is that we were going to take Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker is mediocre with elite potential. That would be our team. Now, that would be our elite edge rusher. Now, you can have it 2 ways. If we didn't have an elite rusher on our team, would Brad try to get an elite rusher on our team? I don't think that's the case. Brad does not value elite pass rushers. He was fortunate. He was fortunate one fell in our lap. That's what this is. I don't believe Brad values the pass rush from the outside at all. He told you in a press conference that fans and the media, it is a higher priority for us to have a pass rush, an edge, second edge, than for him. He said that. Those were his words. I think if Aiden Hutchinson gets taken by the Jacksonville Jaguars, we take either Trayvon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau, and our pass rush is worse than it is right now. Hutch has led this team in sacks every year he's been on the team, even the year he got hurt. I'm starting to raise my voice a little bit because it's annoying, especially when I believe that we are one piece away from winning a Super Bowl. And that one piece is a complimentary edge rusher to Aiden Hutchinson. Point blank, period. No more TLCs, as in guys who scrubs are guys that think they fine. No more scrubs, bro. And when I say scrubs, I'm talking about in the practice squad sense of the word. You're relying on a practice squad dude. We talking about practice. A practice squad dude to come up and make a DE number 2 impact. That's what I don't understand. Why do you have a problem when people tell you what the facts are? And the facts are that Brad neglects the pass rush position from the edge standpoint, and y'all get mad at the people saying it. I don't get it. I get it because I guess I do, because that's fan is short for fanatic, and y'all must be fanatical about this particular individual. All right. So again, I got a little excited. Man, because it is what it is. Davenport has the real potential to be sidelined, and he's going to be sidelined. The Detroit Lions have burned 1 or 2 spots already. I can't remember which one it is, but we just put somebody on IR, and Shane is on IR. It's not season ending, but he's on IR, right? That's one. If Davenport, who knows if Davenport's going to come back? And if he does come back, is Davenport going to help us get to a Super Bowl? How? I mean, I can't even say the 2 words. I can't even say that in the same sentence, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Again, I wanted to show you guys that we are going to, the foundation that we're going to support during the month of October is Cancer Cares. And we are going to, I was thinking about doing a whole store. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you want to see the whole store in pink, or do you want a pink variation? So you'll have the regular variation as well as the pink variation. This is the best-selling shirt on the website. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to try to get these launched by Monday so that you can purchase them and hopefully have it by the start of, if you were to order it like Monday, it would probably be fulfilled and ready to ship before the week is out. So you might get it the first week in October. I might try to get it done this weekend so you could have it by the start of October. But let me know your thoughts about Davenport and Brad Holmes. Again, I think that the tide is going to start turning depending on what happens this season. We make the Super Bowl. Now it's a different conversation. We win the Super Bowl. There's nothing to say after that. We miss the Super Bowl. Then we are going to have a question. We're going to have some conversations in the offseason. It's not about Brad Holmes getting fired or relieved of duties. It is about him taking care of business if he wants his services to be retained past 2027. Because I think that Sheila is the type of owner that might not put up with what her parents put up with, right? And especially if you start to get a little pressure from the fan base. That's just me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I've never been a Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid drinker. Like, that's why the name of my podcast is called Spike Kool-Aid, because it's always something in the Kool-Aid to have us turn and think that we can beat everybody. And we are going to have to make our team better continually to compete with teams that continually get better. All right. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.